If you are looking for inspiration to create Christmas cards, then you have come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to be using some lovely art supplies that were kindly gifted to me by Pentel. Thank you so much. To demonstrate how I created 3 relatively simple but very cute and adorable Christmas cards, with the hope that they'll serve as some form of inspiration for you and you can create your own versions of these. The first design is a Christmas bow, or a gift bow if you like, and part of the reason that I was drawn to this is because it really forced me to have a look at each individual bit, because each part is a relatively simple shape, but then when you do more and more of them, and then later on when I also start adding shading, it ends up looking so nice, so intricate, and a lot more complex than it actually was to create. My initial intention was to pay close attention to my reference photo and to do each and every single bit as I saw it. But then the more I did, the more I was like, actually, I'm having a bit of fun. So I added a few extra loops here and there. And when it came to coloring, I was just making sure that I was using 3 different types of yellows and browns and mixing them all together. And the overall result was the one that I wanted. So when you're creating this, know that you don't have to fixate on each and every single detail, and experiment, make it your own, and have some fun. After colouring it in with my watercolour pencils, I went over it with a water brush and then added some accents with a gold pen. Part of the reason that I really like this design is that you don't just have to use it for Christmas, you can use it for any occasion where a gift comes to mind, whether it be a birthday, an anniversary, or a simple thank you to someone for being special. In addition to that, you can try adding bows, or you can also do a background color that represents the wrapping paper that this bow is on. Then write your greeting or your well wishes at the bottom, and for this I'm using the Pentel gold pen, and you know I like using gold pens to add extra accents every so often, and this is the final result. Next, we're doing something super simple, and you can add as much or as little detail as you want. First of all, I do a rough circle in pencil that you can't see, and that's just so that I know the rough shape of the wreath that I want to create, and I get the rough sizes in. Then I start adding leaves and branches that follow that rough shape. I didn't want it to be one continuous circle, so I'm actually leaving spaces between the leaves and between the different stems, and in those spaces I will go back later on and add berries. Now, as I've mentioned, you can do this in an array of different ways. You can use a lot of different colors, you can add different shapes of leaves, you can add holly, you can add berries, you can add florals, you can make it really delicate and dainty like it is here, or you can add even more details. It's entirely up to you. All the cards in this video took less than 15 minutes to create, with this one probably being the fastest. I've also created a similar card using watercolors last year, and I'll link the tutorial for you in case you want to have a look. If you're enjoying the video so far, then don't forget to hit the like button, as it does make a massive difference. I make weekly art videos which include art tutorials, paint-alongs and vlogs, so if you want to catch more videos like this, then also consider subscribing so that you don't miss any. Last but not least, we're going to do some Christmas baubles. I really like incorporating them because you can really customize them as you wish. You can do baubles in different sizes, in different colors, and then you can also customize the designs that you create inside. So for this one, I'm going to keep it relatively simple, but I decided to step outside my comfort zone and actually use oil pastels to create them. This was a good opportunity for me to practice blending them and to practice layering them, as in the past I felt that I wasn't doing it quite right. So for this one, not that this is an oil pastel tutorial or that I am an expert at all, but the reason that it was more successful for me is that my first layer was a lot lighter, so I didn't press as hard when I was first going down, and then I built up layer upon layer. The other thing that I did that I think helped was that I started off with darker colors and then layered with lighter colors on top, whereas in the past I was trying to do the reverse. This is just to say that there is benefit in experimenting with your materials, and if one thing doesn't work, don't get frustrated, just try something different, because you might end up loving the results like I did with this one. I then couldn't help myself and had to add some extra details using the gold pen. As I mentioned earlier, one of the benefits of doing baubles as well is that you can create art within the art by actually adding extra designs to the baubles themselves. Now, I found that if I used paint pens, I was actually able to create designs on top of the oil pastels. So that's something to bear in mind if you decide to do it with oil pastels too. If you are still watching, then you are most definitely a real MVP, and I really, really, really appreciate you. I hope that you found this video helpful, entertaining, and that you've got a few ideas sparking to create your own cards. Let me know that you are still watching and thus an MVP by telling me whether you tend to create cards for your loved ones. I'm also always looking for inspiration, so if you have some card ideas, then let me know down below in the comments as well. Thank you so much to Pentel for these lovely art supplies. If you love watercolors like me and you want to see some watercolor card designs, then don't forget to check out these 2 videos that I created. Thank you so much for watching and Merry Christmas. See you next week. Bye.